What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and everyone continues to search for answers. Everyone is still trying to figure out where is Quinton Simon. If you don't know, Quinton Simon is a missing 20-month-old toddler from Savannah, Georgia that went missing a week ago on October 5th. If you need any more information, I have plenty of videos on my channel. You can go check them out. I lay out every single detail that you may need to know about this case. Now, while we still search for answers, the tensions in this neighborhood are at an all-time high. From what I've been told and from what I've seen, I get the feel that this area likes to just lay off the radar. They don't like a lot of people in their business in this area, which I guess you could say the same for any area. But now all of a sudden there is just tons of commotion in this neighborhood. Search parties, FBI, thermal helicopters flying over, police on horseback, just caravans of federal agents and law enforcement traveling up and down the road. There's just a lot of commotion in an otherwise more of a private-esque area. But not just that, now there are a cast of characters that may be familiar to you all, that like to travel around and cause commotion on the scenes of, these type of crimes, or when people go missing. We saw them with the Gabby Petito case. We saw them with the Summer Wells case. And now they're out in the area causing commotion as well. And I can confirm that there's already been some verbal exchanges and stuff going on between those people and the neighbors in the area. So who knows what will come of that. Like I've told you all, this is about to turn into a complete circus soon. And I think it's already started about 6 or so hours ago. But the neighbors in this area seem to be getting fed up. I don't think they want all of this attention. And I think a lot of them want to talk. A lot of them want to tell people what they've seen, but they don't want to get wrapped up in all of this nonsense. But as day and day goes by, I'm hearing more and more information from the people in this community. And now today someone spoke out and said that they actually saw Leilani leave that morning around 9 a.m. before the babysitter got there. Now I want you all to understand, this is not confirmed by law enforcement or any officials. This is just some of what is going on, some of the talk around the area. So don't take it as 100% fact. But this is what one of the neighbors is saying. I live in Garrard, the cross street. She did leave after calling the babysitter, didn't come back until 9 when she finally called 911. That's why they towed the car. We have to pass by there whenever we leave, and there are only a few people on site. And since there is no one searching, I'm assuming they think that they need to be searching somewhere else. All right. There's a lot to break down from just that one simple statement. For one, if Leilani was seen leaving the home around 9 a.m. before the babysitter even got there, she could have been, hypothetically, searching for Quinton, correct? I mean, if your kid went missing, wouldn't you search? So when we're questioning if Leilani left the house that morning or if the boyfriend left the house that morning, it's really hard to say if that's suspicious or if that's the right thing. One could even say maybe it would be more suspicious if Leilani didn't leave the house to go drive around the neighborhood and look for her son. But then again, they didn't call law enforcement or anyone until hours later. Now, hypothetically speaking, if Quinton wandered off, maybe she didn't want to get in trouble. Maybe she wanted to search wherever she could for this child before having to alert other people. Because then, of course, she knew that even if Quinton was found, people are going to be looking at you a certain type of way. You already have a bad reputation. You're on probation. You're about to get kicked out of this house. Maybe that's what caused her to pause and not call law enforcement for a while. Now, hypothetically speaking, if Quinton did wander out, I do want to point out something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. I can't dwell on this for too long. YouTube does not like us talking about these type of people. But if you all would like to do your own research, just within like a 2-mile radius of Quinton's home, there's over 40 offenders, okay? There's offenders sprinkled everywhere around Quinton's home. And there's a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of bodies of water, a lot of like wooded areas, and you name it. But going back to what was said here about Leilani leaving around 9 a.m., I think everyone is under the impression that if something happened to Quinton, it has to be between 6 in the morning and 9, because we've been told that the boyfriend saw Quinton, or that Quinton was last seen at 6 a.m. We know the babysitter saw him the day prior. But everyone, I think, is for the most part operating on that little 3-hour time span between 6 and 9. And I'm not so sure if something happened to Quinton that it really happened in that time span. Who's to say that something didn't happen the night before? I'm not so sure that the boyfriend doesn't have anything to do with this. Supposedly, from what we've been told, not by law enforcement, mind you, but word on the streets from the boyfriend's friend, who he's living with in Atlanta right now, he passed the polygraph test. He was cleared, given back his phone, and he's still in touch with investigators and all of that stuff. There's a possibility that he never really saw this kid at 6 a.m. Sure, maybe he got up and maybe thought he saw someone in the bed, or maybe he got up and just left and didn't even want to tell anyone, hey, I didn't even check on the kids before I left. A lot of people, I think, are confused about the kids situation overall. Leilani has 3 kids and 3 different baby fathers. The boyfriend that was living at the home is the father of the youngest child, not of Quinton and not of the other child. She has 3 different baby fathers. But I'm not so sure if he actually saw Quinton. That's what I really, really want to get down to the bottom of, because if you actually really did see Quinton at 6 a.m. when you left, then we know that something happened between 6 and 9, right? Between 6 and 9. Now, if something happened between 6 and 9, that's really quick. I mean, what would have happened? An accident? Something premeditated? I don't know. I just can't help but have a weird feeling that we're all like operating under the impression that something must have happened in this little 3-hour time span, all off of the word of the boyfriend. Like, this is just what the boyfriend said, that he last saw Quinton at 6. Can we trust him? We're all thinking, okay, this 3 hours between 6 and 9, between 6 and 9, between 6 and 9. But that's not even like legit official information. That's just going off the word of the boyfriend, which for all we know could be involved in this. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that's what we're operating under. So what I'm really worried about is what happened between the last time the babysitter saw Quinton. I don't even care about anyone in the house. Billy Joe, I know she wasn't there. The dad, brothers, whoever the hell else is in their family, I don't care. I want to know what happened between the last time the babysitter saw him and 9 o'clock that morning. Because the babysitter seems to be the only one that really cares, about Quinton or has Quinton's best interest at heart. So while I know it's easier to focus on that 3 hours, I think we got to start asking questions about whatever happened between the last time the babysitter saw him and 9 o'clock that morning. But then again, if this was not an accident, let's say this was premeditated, then that 3 hour time span, I guess, would be perfect, right? Because that's when everyone's gone, even the boyfriend, assuming, let's just say, the boyfriend has nothing to do with it. That means your mom is gone, stepdaddy's gone, boyfriend's gone to work, it's just you and the kids. But then again, let's just say it was an accident. I guess within that time period, maybe the boyfriend could have seen Quinton at 6. And while Leilani should have gotten up when the boyfriend left to be with the kids, she decided to sleep because she's not a great mother, right? We all know that. And the pool really sticks out to me because if the baby got in the pool, then, you know what I'm saying? But how do you all feel about this? If it was an accident, I feel like maybe she would have gotten caught by now. Let's say the boyfriend saw the baby at 6 a.m., right? And let's say an accident happened to Quinton between then. Like maybe Quinton went and got in that pool in the backyard. Or something along those lines. That is like a small window in which to cover all of this stuff up. Get rid of the child, get rid of evidence, get rid of everything. Start making phone calls and whatnot. That is a really short time span. And I feel like that would be more sloppy. Like, I don't know if we'd be still sitting here a week later not having any of our questions answered if it was something that just happened like boom, bam, bam. Just like 3 hours goes by real quick, I would assume, if you're having all of this traumatic stuff happening and you're trying to figure out what the hell you're going to do. You know what I mean? I don't want to elaborate too much on what could have happened, but I'm just saying, like, that's a really quick time span. Unless it was planned out. Unless spots were already found for where the kid would go. Maybe, we've heard it was trash that time. I don't want to speculate too much, but I'm just really trying to brainstorm here with you all. Because if this was on purpose and it happened within this 3 hour time span, then I feel like it had to really be thought out beforehand. I mean, think about it. If it was an accident, that means you wake up sometime after 6 a.m., you discover an accident happened, you rationalize in your mind what you're going to do, you get rid of evidence, and you get rid of the kid, and you make these phone calls within a 3 hour time span. You know what I mean? But if it was premeditated, and I can tell you from looking at this area, the kid could be anywhere. I know a lot of people are saying check the landfills, check the trash cans. They think that possibly she put them in the trash. Right? I know it's messed up to even think about. But that almost seems too obvious when you really get a feel for this area. If you haven't already, go check out my video. I'm telling you all, there's just, and especially for someone like that, that's lived in the area and knows the area, there is all type of like hidden spots, trails, paths, woods, you name it, that this child could be buried at or be at, and who knows, maybe this isn't something that happened between 6 and 9. They could have had all day to put Quinton wherever Quinton is. You know what I mean? But we don't know. Like I said, I'm trying my best not to speculate too much. I mean, I'm speculating to myself, but I try not to speculate too much on my videos. But I do want to go over just some of the brainstorming just off the top as I sit here and think. But one other thing I want to point out before I leave you here all today is the fact that, like the neighbor said, she left the house around 9 a.m. before the babysitter got there, correct? And then they called law enforcement around 9:42. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, she was searching for Quinton. That means she searched for her missing child for 40 minutes. Let that sink in. This woman, I mean, maybe she was pretend searching. I mean, I think we all think that, but let's just say. That means she searched for her missing 20-month-old son for all of 30, 40 minutes. Not even 40. We know it's not 40 minutes because she was at the house talking to the babysitter a few minutes later. So we'll give her about 30 minutes of searching for her son. It's been 7 days. No answers. FBI, law enforcement from out of town, you name it. It's gone crazy in the area. And she spent all of 30 minutes searching for Quinton. That should tell you a lot. But hey, you come to your own conclusions and I'll come to mine. Let me know what you think, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all on the next video.